What's going on, guys? Stack here, and in this video I am going to be going over defense. This is the start of a defensive guide running the Miami Dolphins playbook, but the formations we have in here are found in a lot of playbooks. The formations we're going to cover are the 3-4 odd, the 3-3-5 wide, nickel over G, and the 4-3 even 6-1. Now, this guide is going to be based around blitzing mainly because I think a lot of people have already gone over the coverage stuff, the over G rush, stock rush that's really good, things like that. I don't want to actually go over that stuff. A lot of other sites have done that. I want to give you guys something a little different because I feel like not a lot of people are blitzing in the community and a lot of people are just running man coverage. And I'm old school. I like to blitz and play zone. So that's how we're going to attack this defensive guide here. So the first video is going to be a guide to run defense. 3-4 odd is what I use for run defense. And then I use it for, the under center two back runs or just the under center stretches and things like that. Formations that aren't necessarily the best passing formations. And they require a little bit more of bulk on the field than just running nickel. So in this example, I'm going to be using the 3-4 odd. I'm going to take out Joey Bosa because he has outside stuff, and yes, it's very good, but not everybody's going to use outside stuff. So I want to make sure this defense works for everybody. And the the play that we're going to be using out of 3-4 odd is going to be first pinch dog press, and then we're going to move into pinch dog 3, and I use them in different situations, and I'll show you how. So first, pinch dog press. Let's go up against I form close. Pretty popular formation. Good runs. You can flip it to either side. And our base defense looks like this. All right. The coaching adjustments I make, I should have showed that, but I have auto flip on and alignment base. And the way I run this defense to stop the run is if they're compressed like this, I'll just pinch my whole defense. That's RB or R1 on the PlayStation and down on the left stick. And it gives you a look just like this. Now, I use the linebacker in this scenario. For other formations where, for example, if it was I form twins and both receivers were on the left, I would use the backside safety. But if you make a mistake in this situation and they have a streak on that side of the field, you're going to get burned for a touchdown. So for right now, we just use her this middle linebacker. I just like to have speed at middle linebacker because I like to be able to run around and fill the different gaps. And if you look at our front, this is essentially a 5-2. Okay, we've got the 3 down linemen plus the outside linebackers. These guys should occupy the interior. This guy should draw the attention of either the tight end or the tackle. Same deal with Perryman over here. And the reason I like this defense is because the corners are in run fits. So if you hold down your right trigger in practice mode and press, what is it? I think it's, oh no, it's left trigger, excuse me. And press B, you'll see the right side run fits. The corner comes down and sets the edge. Left side is left trigger and X, same thing on the left side. So our job on stretch is going to just be to fill the gaps. You see that the outside corner came in and ate up the blocker, the fullback that would essentially stop them from bouncing this to the outside, which is exactly what we wanted. We wanted to funnel this back towards the middle, and then we put our user in a good spot to make the tackle. Now, if they flip the run, which a lot of people do from I form close, go ahead and pinch our defense again. I'm still using this guy because it's technically the weak side. Flip this run. And the same thing is true for the left side. The corner comes out and sets the edge. If he doesn't get blocked, he'll make the tackle. Pretty self-explanatory. Runs up the middle, I wouldn't really worry about because we have a ton of people here in the middle. So it's not something that you really need to pay that much attention to. You have pretty good, run integrity through the middle. Now, let's take a look at a different run set. Let's take a look at wing flex, single back wing flex. Wing flex close, and we'll look at the stretch. Same deal, pinch the line. Since there's no receiver over here that's really fast, like the tight ends aren't going to really beat you deep unless you make a huge mistake, I use the safety over here on this situation. And if they run to the outside over here, the corner once again comes in, makes a play. Yes, he broke a tackle. It's going to happen eventually. But you have really good run integrity. Same deal for the other side run. Excuse me, the left side run. They snap it and go over here. Now you have the corner setting the edge. You can run out there and make a play with your user. Really self-explanatory type stuff. Now, earlier in the video, I promised you that I'd show you when we use the pinch dog 3. So when you call pinch dog 3, and we're going to call this mainly against the super heavy formations like I form wing, but also against the slot formations that have the RPO. For example, I form slot. Now, right away, if they ran the RPO and we were just aligned like this, they would have the RPO really easily. So since we are already baselined, we want to baseline again, which will re-baseline us, and then we can pinch our defense again. And what that does is it brings this safety over here to the strong side of the run, and it brings this corner over here to the RPO. Now, this year's game is pretty finicky with when they guard the RPOs versus when they don't. I think a high play rec type player will do well on the RPOs. Other ones don't. So what you could do technically is just user this. And what I like to do when there's no deep receiver threat on that right side is I'll blitz the corner off the edge so we still have the corner setting the edge. And then you get a scenario like that where he shoots in, blows up the run. If you don't want to user that side, that's perfectly fine. Remember, just baseline pinch again. I like to bring him down just a little bit more so he's right over top. And then I'll just use this deep safety. You can blitz that outside corner again. If they run the stretch, now, I mean, it's pretty much boxed. You don't really have to worry about the runs up the middle. So that's when I would use that scenario. Also, or excuse me, that play in that scenario. Also against the, like I said, the heavy run formations with the 2 tight ends. For example, like H-wing. H-wing can be a problem if you just run the regular cover 2 because the tight ends will get up onto the corner and the fullback will get up onto the corner, and it just won't work that well. I like to have more guys in the box against these. And I'm not going to pinch this time since they're super heavy to the right side. I like to shift my D-line over there because they're, really, the beefy guys. You can press, blitz that corner on that side, and these beefy guys up front will eat up the blockers, and you have to do a really good job with your user scraping and making the play. The linebacker will come through. That's how I've been shutting down these runs. Now, you are a little bit more susceptible in this to the runs up the middle. But to be honest with you, runs up the middle, I haven't been seeing them break for big gains. So you can live with 2-3 yards, and eventually I think your opponent will just get tired of those small gains and then end up trying to pass. Speaking of trying to pass, say they're in the I form close and they're doing a good job of mixing the run and the pass. Let's go ahead and hop into I close. Let's just run wide receiver out. The good thing about this defense here is if they were to drop back to pass, this guy comes in off the edge. He gets a one-on-one matchup with a halfback. If the halfback's not blocking, let's just say he goes out on a route, then that guy comes in free at the quarterback. So it's a pretty decent little pressure too. It's not the greatest in the world. And the reason we don't use this for every situation and every formation is just simply because the personnel doesn't match properly. It's not ideal to use a linebacker in this game because they don't have the good change of direction, the good speed, some of them have the jumping, a lot of them don't. So you want to only run this against like the under center passing stuff. And you can also, if you're dealing with a mobile quarterback and you're having issues, you can put this outside linebacker on the left on a QB spy, and if they're passing, they'll have we'll have quick sheds. We'll also have that QB spy to take any drags away and chase down the quarterback. So that's pretty much it for the 3-4 odd. It's pretty straightforward. It's all about having good gap integrity and putting your guys in the proper run fits. Again, this is not something that you want to run all game against shotgun sets. You will get burnt. This is primarily what we use for run defense.